The Dravari warship Bloodfang floated in deep space, its hull black like night, hidden from sensors. Inside, everything was still. Soldiers stood ready. Weapons were charged. Their claws were sharp. They waited for one command: attack Earth. But it didn't come. Commander Threnkar, the leader of the Dravari, stood on the bridge. His yellow eyes stared at the hologram of the blue planet, Earth. It looked small, weak, easy prey. He didn't blink. He didn't speak. He just stared. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Scarthel, stepped forward. "Commander," Scarthel growled, "we are ready. The humans are few. Their defenses are thin. Why do we wait?" Threnkar's claws tightened around the control. "Rail," his voice came slow and low. "We do not enter human space." Silence. The soldiers looked at each other, shocked. Scarthel frowned. "But why? We are Dravari. We fear no species. We crushed the Larithians. We hunted the Mirren to extinction. What is Earth to us?" Threnkar turned to him. "I saw what they did on Creel 7. The room went quiet. No one spoke of Creel 7. Scarthel whispered, "That was only a story." Threnkar leaned in, his voice now a growl. "It was not a story. I was there. Across the stars, on a peaceful space station." Zoran, a young alien from the peaceful Cathali species, sat at his desk. He was a reporter, curious and bold. His species believed in knowledge, in truth, in peace. He wasn't big. He wasn't strong. But his mind was sharp. He watched the intercepted footage again. A Dravari warship turning away from Earth. Again and again. "Strange," he muttered. "They never run." Zoran searched the galactic records. The Dravari had conquered over 79 species. They never avoided battle. They loved it. They lived for the hunt. So why did they never fight humans? Even when humans settled planets close to Dravari space, nothing happened. No attacks, no warnings. Just silence. That silence was loud. Too loud. Zoran contacted Professor Rallick, an expert in war history. "Professor," Zoran asked, "why are humans avoided?" Professor Rallick frowned. He leaned forward and whispered, "Because something happened during the war. Something no one wants to talk about. What happened? No one knows. Every species that tried to study it, stopped. Some disappeared. Others deleted all records. The Galactic Council made a quiet agreement. Leave humans alone. Never provoke them." Zoran leaned back. "You mean they scared the whole galaxy?" Rallick nodded. "Yes, but no one knows how." Zoran made a choice. He booked a secret seat on a cargo freighter heading to Earth. He packed his translator, camera drone, and notepad. His boss told him not to go. "Don't poke monsters with a stick, Zoran." Zoran smiled. "Maybe the monster isn't what we think." As the ship approached Earth's system, Zoran saw it through the viewport, a blue and green planet, full of water and life. It didn't look dangerous. He expected to feel fear, but he felt curious. The cargo freighter landed on Lunar Station 9, a small human research outpost on Earth's moon. There, he met his first human, Dr. Emily Carter, a biologist. She was small, kind, and laughed often. "You're from Cathali?" she asked, shaking his hand. "Wow, I've read about your species." "You live in floating cities," Zoran smiled. "And you live next to the galaxy's most feared race." Emily blinked. "You mean us?" Zoran nodded. "Yes, why does the galaxy fear you?" Emily's smile faded. "Who told you that?" "I saw it myself. A Dravari warship refused to attack Earth. Your species is untouchable." Emily looked away. She sighed. "You shouldn't be here. I came for truth." She leaned closer and whispered, "Then stay away from Project Blackroom." Zoran's ears twitched. "What is Project Blackroom?" "I don't know. No one does. It's buried. Even we don't talk about it." Zoran's translator buzzed. It picked up a signal from the station's internal network, an old message, hidden. It repeated every 7 hours. If they ever remember what they're capable of, the stars will burn again. That night, Zoran couldn't sleep. He stared out at Earth, peaceful, bright, full of music, lights, life. How could this scare the Dravari? Then his drone beeped. New data. He followed it to a side room. Inside, he found a wall covered in photos. Human soldiers, explosions, maps of old battles. One photo stood out. It showed a man, dirty, tired, covered in blood, standing alone in a destroyed alien city. Beneath it, a caption, Derek Kane, survivor of Creel 7. The room lights flickered. Emily stood at the door. You found it, she said quietly. Who is he? Derek Kane. The reason the Dravari fear us. He wasn't a general. He wasn't a hero. He was a father. What did he do? Emily didn't answer. She walked away, but before she left, she said one thing. They killed his family, so he killed their world. Zoran felt a chill. That wasn't war. That was vengeance. But still, he needed more. He needed to see Creel 7. He sneaked back to his ship and redirected it. The station tried to stop him. His boss sent him warnings, but he ignored them. He had to see for himself. Creel 7 was a dead moon. Black skies, cracked ground, silence. No birds, no wind, no sound. Zoran walked through the ruins of a city, once Dravari, now ash. Bones covered the street. Not broken bones, burnt bones, melted metal. Shadows on walls, like something nuclear had hit them. But worse. He found a datapad, old, damaged, but working. It played one message. A Dravari officer's voice shaking. We tried to capture the human. Just one. He was alone, wounded. We thought it would be easy. He waited. He watched us. Then he smiled. We didn't know humans could laugh while bleeding. The recording ended with screaming. Zoran looked up. The sky above Creel 7 was still black. But now, he understood. The Dravari weren't scared of human weapons. They were scared of human will. As he returned to his ship, Zoran sent a report to his boss. One line stood out. They look soft, but they break monsters with their bare hands. Back on the Dravari warship, Commander Threnkar watched his soldiers train. They were fast, strong, deadly. But he remembered Creel 7. He remembered the human who didn't run. He whispered to himself, they fight like prey, but they hunt like demons. Zoran stood quietly inside his small ship as it flew closer to Earth's atmosphere. The blue planet looked so alive. Green forests, blue oceans, bright lights and cities. It looked like a dream, not a world that scared the galaxies most. Dangerous predators. He remembered the Dravari commander's warning. He remembered the burnt city on Creel 7, and now, he was heading straight to the place everyone feared. Computer. Zoran said, prepare landing on nearest human research base. Landing coordinates locked. The ship's I replied. Destination, Earth Research Site, Delta 9, Amazon Sector. Arrival on Earth. Zoran's ship landed softly on a green field surrounded by thick jungle. The air was warm. Birds chirped. Strange animals moved in the trees. A team of humans stood outside waiting. Their clothes were simple. Their tools were peaceful. Scanners, tablets, water bottles. No weapons. One human stepped forward. A tall man with dark hair and calm eyes. I'm Dr. Marcus Hale, he said, offering a hand. Welcome to Earth. Zoran took the hand, confused. Where are your guards? He asked. No weapons? Marcus smiled. We're scientists, not soldiers. This is a peaceful site. We study life, not destroy it. Zoran blinked. But you are human, Marcus laughed. Not all humans are like the stories, my friend. Exploring the base. Inside the base, everything was clean and simple. Walls were white. Screens showed weather maps and plant growth. The humans were kind. They shared food, gave him a room, and even made him tea. Zoran interviewed several humans. Biologists, engineers, doctors. They spoke of helping other species, saving forests, ending hunger, building peace. One engineer said proudly, "We humans grow stronger by protecting life, not taking it." Zoran began to relax. Maybe the galaxy is wrong, he thought. Maybe humans aren't monsters. Maybe they've changed. But then he made a mistake. He asked about Project Black Room. The atmosphere changes. It was evening. Rain fell outside. Zoran sat with Dr. Holly in the mess hall, drinking warm soup. Double quotes Dr. Holly. He asked quietly, "What is Project Black Room?" The spoon in Hale's hand stopped. He didn't look up. "Where did you hear that name?" Zoran paused. "A human on Lunar Station 9 warned me, said I shouldn't ask." Dr. Hale put the spoon down slowly. The air around them felt colder. "That project is classified," he said. "Very old, very dark. Most of us here don't even know what it was, but you've heard of it." "Yes, only once, during training. They told us never to ask. Why?" Holly looked Zoran in the eyes. "Because some knowledge kills. Curiosity forever." Secret clues that night. Zoran couldn't sleep. He opened his drone scanner and searched the base's old data logs. Most files were normal, science reports, weather logs, energy readings. But then he found something strange. A hidden folder, locked, named Echo_Black Room. He bypassed the weak security. Inside were images, broken text files, video fragments. All very old. He played one file. A human soldier appeared on the screen, covered in blood and mud, whispering into the camera. "We opened the room. It was never meant to be opened. They said it was for defense only. But it didn't defend us. It changed us." The screen glitched. The next clip showed a room full of alien bodies, twisted, melted, screaming, frozen on their faces. Another file. A scientist crying. "The Dravari broke our walls, so we broke reality." The storm suddenly. Alarms blared across the base. Red lights flashed. Voices echoed in the halls. Zoran ran outside. "What's happening?" He asked a technician. "We detected a signal," the human said. "A Dravari ship. It's circling orbit. Just watching." Zoran felt cold fear. "Do they know I'm here?" Maybe. Maybe they're watching Earth again. Or maybe they're watching us. Dr. Hiley called the team together. "We'll activate defense protocols," he said. "Don't panic." Zoran stepped closer. "You said this was a peaceful site." Holly looked at him calmly. "It is. Until someone makes it otherwise." Zoran's eyes widened as a part of the wall opened, and a high-powered railgun rose from underground. More weapons activated. Drones took to the sky. "Peaceful," Zoran whispered, "but not unprepared." The history of silence that night. Holly sat with Zoran again. "Do you know why the Dravari fear us?" Holly asked. Zoran nodded. "Creel 7, the soldier, Derek Kane. That's part of it, but not all." He pulled out a small crystal chip and inserted it into a projector. An old recording played. "A Galactic Council meeting." An alien voice said, "We recommend full ban on Earth entry. Human retaliation patterns are not logical. Their anger is ancient." Another voice, "They break rules of war. They fight with hate and invention. They win when they shouldn't." Final voice, "We cannot predict them. We cannot control them." Then the room went silent. The outsider's warning. Next morning, a stranger arrived at the base. She wore dark clothes. Her voice was sharp. Her name was Agent Voss. She was from Earth's Global Threat Division. "Zoran of Kasali," she said, "you are digging in places that are best left buried." "I want the truth," Zoran said. "You already found it," she replied. "And that should scare you." "What is Project Black Room?" Voss looked at Hale, then at the jungle. Blackroom was created after the first Dravari invasion. We didn't have stronger ships, so we built something else. Built what? Human rage. The experiment Voss led Zoran to a hidden section. Under the base. It looked like an old lab shut down long ago. She opened the door. The walls were lined with padded rooms, heavy locks, observation windows. This is where they tested it, she said. They found a way to push the human mind beyond normal limits. Pure survival, pure emotion, no mercy, no fear. Zoran stepped into one room. It was dark, silent. A message scratched into the wall. I became what they feared. Because what? I wasn't enough. Agent Voss whispered behind him. One subject broke through the system. He didn't need drugs. He didn't need tech. All he needed was one reason: revenge. Derek Kane? She nodded. Transmission intercepted back at the surface. A strange signal appeared in the sky. That it wasn't DRAVAR. It was human. Old Earth. Military code, no longer used. Zoran translated it. We are the fire. We are the silence after the fire. Do not awaken us again. The base went quiet. Agent Voss said nothing. Dr. Halle turned off the comms. Zoran stood alone under the stars. Thinking, the humans were not dangerous because of their strength. They were dangerous because of what they hid deep inside. The final note before leaving Earth. Zoran sent a message to his home world. He didn't send any videos. He didn't share. Blackroom. He just wrote one sentence. They're peaceful now. Yes, but only because they choose to be. As his ship left Earth's orbit, he looked down one last time. And wondered if the galaxy ever pushes them again. What will rise from the Blackroom next? Zoran sat quietly in his small ship, staring at the dark starfield ahead. His heart was heavy. Earth had shown him one side of humans, kind, peaceful, smiling. But Project Blackroom and Agent Voss's warning had opened a darker door. Now. His next destination was clear. Creel 7, the moon-turned graveyard, where the fiercest battle between humans and Dravari had been fought. He pulled the ship's controls, gently. The engines hummed as the craft moved closer to Creel 7's orbit. Outside the window, the dead moon loomed large. Its surface was cracked and blackened. No signs of life, no atmosphere. Just silence. Landing on the dead moon, Zoran landed his ship. Near the ruins of a city. The remains of buildings stood like broken teeth against the gray sky. He stepped outside. His boots sank slightly into the cold ash covering the ground. The air was thin, but his suit filtered it. No wind, no birds. No sound but the soft crunch of his steps. He looked around. Bones littered the streets. Not animal bones. The size and shape showed they were alien, not human. They were Dravari, the predators. The hunters. And here they lay. Broken. The city of Shadow. Zoran walked cautiously through the ruins. He saw scorch marks on walls. Craters where explosions had torn through the streets. Metal parts melted and twisted into strange shapes. Pieces of Dravari armor lay broken, some cracked like glass. His eyes caught a small data terminal, half buried in ash. He brushed off the dust and opened it. A weak power signal still ran through. He pressed a button. The screen flickered, then showed a face, a Dravari officer, voice trembling. We were overconfident. We thought the humans were weak, but they waited. They fought. Like nothing I have ever seen. They were silent, invisible. Until it was too late. Zoran's hands shook slightly. The terrible truth. He played the recording again. The officer's voice cracked as he described what happened. We entered the city expecting easy prey. But the humans had prepared traps. Guerrilla fighters. Strange weapons. It was like the city itself was alive and attacking us. The officer's words were filled with fear. We lost many. We lost leaders. Our squads were broken. The humans didn't just fight for land. They fought to erase. U.S. Zoran looked up from the screen. He imagined the scene. A silent city, shadows moving, death lurking in every corner. The last battle further in the ruins, Zoran found a small memorial. A plaque in broken Dravari script read, "To the warriors, lost in the fall of Creel 7, may their souls find rest beyond the stars." But there was no rest here. Near the memorial, Zoran found a journal, badly damaged, pages burnt. He carefully opened it. It belonged to Scarthul. "We are hunted. The humans fight with fire and shadow. Their minds are weapons sharper than claws. I fear what we faced was not just a species, but a force we cannot understand." A dark Memorizerins come device beeped. Incoming message. It was from an anonymous source. "If you want to know the truth, look for the Silent Reaper. He is the one who broke Creel 7. Find him, and you will understand why the galaxy fears." Humans. Zoran felt a cold shiver. He did not know who sent the message. But he had no choice. Searching for the Silent Reaper, Zoran left the city ruins and traveled deeper into Creel 7's wasteland. He followed ancient Dravari battle markers, now faded and broken. After hours of walking, he reached a hidden cave entrance. Inside, walls were covered with strange symbols and old weapons, some Dravari, some human. At the cave's center lay a small campfire, cold but recently used. On a stone seat sat a figure, tall, muscular, wearing worn armor. His face was scarred, eyes sharp. He looked human. The man who stopped a war the figure looked at Zoran without surprise. "You've come for answers," he said in a low voice. "I'm Zoran. I seek the truth about Creel 7. The man smiled bitterly. "They call me the Silent Reaper." Zoran's heart raced. "Why Silent Reaper?" The man looked to the dark sky. "Because I left death behind, quiet, without mercy." The war story. The Silent Reaper began his tale. "Years ago, the Dravari invaded Earth. They killed my family. They took my home. I was nothing but a farmer then, but the galaxy doesn't see farmers. They see soldiers. I became one. I learned their language. I studied their weaknesses. And then I hunted them back." Zoran listened closely. A new kind of war. The Silent Reaper spoke of guerrilla attacks, ambushes, and human weapons unknown to other species. He described a weapon called nanofire, tiny machines that burned through metal, flesh, and bone silently. He told of psychological warfare, how humans used fear and confusion to break stronger enemies. "They fought like ghosts," he said. Zoran's mind raced. The breaking point. The Silent Reaper's eyes darkened. The final battle was in this city. He gestured to the ruins outside. "I destroyed their command center with nanofire. The city burned. The Dravari were broken, but it cost me everything." Zoran asked softly, "What cost?" The man looked away. "My family, my friends, my humanity." The warning. The Silent Reaper leaned in. "Do not mistake our kindness for weakness. We are not victims. We are survivors. If the galaxy thinks humans are prey, it is because they have forgotten what it means to fight." Zoran's resolve. Zoran left the cave, his mind heavy. He looked back at the ruined city one last time. He sent a message to his boss. "Humans are not soft. They are not prey. They are hunters hiding behind smiles. The galaxy must know." Back on his ship, Zoran prepared for the next step. He set his course for a distant planet, home to a forgotten prison world where humans were held captive during the war. He needed to see the truth of human prisoners. Zoran sat in his ship, flying through deep space once again. His thoughts were heavy. Creel 7 had shown him the truth. The battlefield was dead, but the memory was alive. He could still hear the Silent Reaper's words. "Do not mistake kindness for weakness." Now Zoran was heading toward a forgotten planet, Hades 3, a place where human prisoners were once kept during the war. The Dravari had built a secret prison there, no official records. No visits, just silence. The prison was abandoned. Now, but some said one man had escaped from it and never returned. That man was Colonel Jackson Reeves, a name linked to Project Blackroom, and to the man who destroyed an entire Dravari colony. Arrival on Hades 3. Zoran's ship shook slightly as it landed. The planet was dark and stormy. Heavy clouds covered the sky. The ground was cracked and dry. Not a single plant grew. He stepped out of his ship and activated his scanner. The prison stood in the distance, tall, black, broken. Rusty towers leaned like they were tired. Metal fences surrounded the area, many torn open. Zoran walked carefully, every step crunching on dry ash. The wind howled like a voice lost in time. He entered the prison through a broken gate. The broken prison inside. The walls were stained. Cells were open. Bones lay scattered, both human and alien. Zoran touched one of the walls. Deep scratch marks ran across it. Not from tools, from fingernails. He whispered, "What happened here?" He found a small device in the hallway. A recorder, half buried in the dust. He pressed play. "They locked us here. No food, no sunlight. They thought we would beg. But we laughed. We remembered Earth. We remembered who we were. One of us escaped, just one. He left something behind." Zoran followed the hallway to a room marked Black Cell. The door was heavy, but he forced it open. Inside, words were scratched into. "The walls. You taught us pain. We turned it into purpose." The legend of Reeves. Suddenly, a sharp voice echoed from behind. "Looking for ghosts, are you?" Zoran spun around. A man stood in the doorway. Tall, gray hair, sharp eyes. He wore old armor, patched but strong. A sidearm hung at his belt. "I'm Colonel Jackson Reeves," the man said. "And you've got questions?" Zoran stared. "You're alive." "Most days." Zoran followed Reeves into a hidden chamber behind the cell. A fire burned. Maps, weapons, old photos, all neatly organized. "I've been watching you since Creel 7, Reeves said. "The Reaper told me someone was coming." Zoran sat. "I want to know what happened. The real story. About Derek Kane." Reeves looked into the flames. "Derek Kane. He was my friend," Reeves said. "Before the war, he was a father, a husband. He fixed engines. He made pancakes on Sundays. When the Dravari came, they didn't just destroy our cities. They took his family. They didn't kill them quickly." Reeves paused. His hands tightened into fists. Kane volunteered for a recon mission. Alone, into Dravari space. No backup, no orders. Zoran asked softly, "What did he do?" Reeves whispered, "He erased a planet." The planet called Zarthus. Reeves stood and pointed to a star map. Zarthus 9. A Dravari colony, 1 million strong. Military base, civilians, labs. Kane infiltrated it. He stole a prototype weapon, Nanocore 17, experimental Earth tech. Tiny machines that eat matter, designed to destroy enemy weapons. But Kane, he changed the code. Zoran leaned forward. "How?" "He made it think everything was a weapon." The day the sky burned, Reeves continued. Kane released Nanocore 17 into Zarthus's atmosphere. Within hours, buildings crumbled. Ships melted. Metal, plastic, flesh, nothing survived. The Dravari didn't even have time to scream. Zoran's face went pale. "And the humans?" he asked. Reeves stared at him. There were no humans. Kane was the only one there. He watched the world vanish. One reason. Zoran sat in silence. Finally he asked, "Why did he do it?" Reeves didn't blink. "Because they scared his dog." Zoran looked confused. Reeves smiled darkly. "He survived the attack, barely. His home was gone. His family was gone, but his dog Rusty ran to protect his little girl. Dravari soldiers kicked him, injured him. He died 2 days later in Kane's arms. And that," Reeves sighed, "was the final mistake. No return after the destruction of Zarthus 9. Kane didn't return to Earth. He disappeared. Some say he still wanders space, hunting Dravari warships in silence. Others say he joined Blackroom. Reeves shook his head. He became something else. Not evil, not broken, just done. Zoran asked, "Do you regret it?" Reeves nodded slowly. "Every day. But I also sleep in peace." The message Reeves handed Zoran a small device. "Here," he said. Kane left this message before he vanished. He wanted it heard when the time was right. Zoran pressed play. Kane's voice was calm, slow, deep. "To the galaxy. I didn't destroy your planet because I enjoyed it. I did it because I wanted you to understand something. We're not perfect. We fight. We argue. We even destroy ourselves sometimes. But when you touch what we love, we don't stop. You see our soft side and think we are weak. You see our music, our art, our jokes, our love. But love is the most dangerous weapon we have." Departure Rezarin left the prison planet the next morning. As his ship rose through the dark sky, he looked back one last time. He sent a message to his homeworld. One human lost his family, so he ended a planet. This is not a story of power. It's a story of what happens when you take too much from the wrong species. In the shadows back on a hidden Dravari outpost, a message came through. It showed Zoran's face. The commander hissed, "He knows too much. Should we eliminate him?" Another voice replied, "No, let the others hear him. Let the galaxy remember. Let them fear again." They locked the humans in cages, thinking they were broken. The mistake wasn't caging them. The mistake was turning their backs. Zoran had seen the battlefield. He had walked through the ashes of Kreel-7. He had spoken with the Silent Reaper. Had listened to the voice of the man who ended a planet for revenge. But the mystery of human strength was still not complete. Something was missing. So when he received a coded message from a forgotten planet on the edge of Dravari territory, he followed it. The message was short. "You want to know what humans are? Go to Orban 6. See what chains can't hold." Arrival on Orban 6. Orban 6 was a prison planet, one of the oldest. During the war, the Dravari had captured thousands of humans and locked them there. It was considered inescapable. Triple walls. No food replicators, hostile terrain, no airships. No mercy. Zoran had to land his ship manually, the signal jamming most of his navigation systems. The atmosphere was gray and dusty. Thunderstorms rumbled in the distance. Broken watchtowers stood like skeletons across the land. Zoran stepped out of his ship and looked at the ruined structure ahead. It used to be called Containment Zone 17. Now it was nothing but stone, metal, and silence, or so he thought. Inside the prison, the doors were wide open. Rust covered everything. Old bloodstains marked the floor. Zoran walked through the empty corridors. In the cells, no bodies remained. Just marks on the walls, scratches, words, symbols. He found one wall with a message written in something dark red, long dried. We're born in chains. We break them for fun." Zoran stepped back. His hand trembled. "Humor. In pain," he whispered. "Even here." The failed guards. Zoran reached what used to be the control room. Dravari technology lay shattered on the ground. Screens flickered randomly. Some showed static. Others displayed old files. He activated the main log. A video played. A Dravari guard sat at the console. He was shaking. His armor was broken. His face had deep claw marks. "This is Commander Valrock, Day 32. The humans are not like the others. We took their food. They grew stronger. We beat them. They smiled. We killed their friends. They sang songs. They are not prey." The log ended with static. The man never sent another message. Evidence of the impossible. Zoran moved to the prison yard. Huge electric fences once stood there, but they were torn down from the inside. On the far wall, he saw something unbelievable. A giant steel door. meant to hold tanks behind it, had been bent open by hand. On the wall beside it, another message was carved deep into the metal. You can't cage what's already free. Zoran whispered, How did they? Then he noticed something else on a Dravari. Symbol. It was the symbol for panic, painted in human blood. Meeting the survivor, suddenly. A voice echoed from the top floor. Curious little bird, aren't you? Zoran looked up sharply. An old man stepped out from the shadows. He had a long coat, gray beard, and calm eyes. He was human. Name, Malik Stone, one of the last prisoners of Orban 6. You were here? Zoran asked. I was, Malik replied, for 120 days. How did you escape? Malik chuckled. I didn't. I walked out. The memory of madness. Malik sat with Zoran on a broken bench. He spoke slowly, with deep voice. They thought they could break us. We were starving, tired, cut off. But humans, we don't break like others. We get angry. We get smart. We get loud. He pointed toward the open steel gate. One night, they turned off the lights. A test. Psychological warfare. So, we made music, sang old Earth songs, danced in the dark. Zoran listened, stunned. They killed one of us each day, Malik said. For 30 days. And each day, we carved a joke on the walls. The plan on the 40th day, a small group of prisoners escaped their cells using spoons, digging under their beds, hiding dirt in their uniforms. They caused a fake riot. When the guards ran in, they were ambushed with nothing but fists and sharpened bones. They had weapons, Malik said. We had anger. Zoran asked, but how did you survive the planet? It's barren, dead. Malik looked at him. We ate what they thought we couldn't. Roots, insects, ourselves, if needed. Zoran's eyes widened. You mean? Malik nodded slowly. We did what we had to. The final escape of Zoran followed Malik to the outer edge of the prison, where a hidden tunnel had been dug under a broken drainage system. The Dravari never looked down. Malik said, They always looked at cages, not what was beneath them. From that tunnel, 47 humans had escaped into the desert. No water. No food. They walked for 5 days before building a fire large enough to be seen from orbit. A Cathali freighter saw the smoke. They rescued us, Malik said. Didn't ask questions, just helped. The aftermath later, Zoran found another file in the ruined office. A classified Dravari report. Human prisoners cannot be controlled. They laugh when tortured. They fight in ways that defy pattern. Never again attempt human capture. It is not worth the cost. Zoran stared at the final stamped word, uncontainable. Leaving Orban 6, Zoran boarded his ship again. Malik stood at the prison gates, watching him go. One last thing, Malik said. Zoran paused. Malik smiled. We didn't escape because we were strong. We escaped because we knew who we were. Other species follow rules. We write our own. Zoran nodded, deeply moved. Final report. Zoran sent a message to his homeworld. They call them prisoners. But no chains hold humans unless humans allow them. You may capture their bodies, but never their will. He looked out the window as Orban 6 disappeared behind him. His next destination was even more mysterious. A long-abandoned human lab, floating in deep space. There, he would find something no one dared read. A weapon. In the form of a book. It was not a bomb, not a virus, not a gun. It was a book. And every species who read it went mad. Zoran had seen many things since he began chasing the truth about humans. He had seen the battlefield of Kreel-7. He had heard about Derek Kane, who erased a planet. He had walked through the broken prison of Orban 6, where humans laughed in chains. And now his next destination was the most dangerous of all. Not a planet, not a battlefield, but a library. A message from the past. Zoran had received a strange signal from a derelict space station drifting beyond the edge of known space. The signal was very old, Earth origin, Written in ancient human code. It only repeated one line. Do not read it. Zoran was warned by many. Even Malik Stone, the Orban 6 survivor, had said, if you go there, don't open the book. It's not meant for others, it's human, and only humans understand it. But Zoran had come too far to stop. Arrival at Station K79. The station floated alone in the dark, its lights long dead, its structure cracked from time and space dust. Zoran's ship attached to one of the old docks. He wore his suit and entered carefully. Inside, the station was cold and quiet. Dust floated in the air like snow. He moved through the empty halls, following the signal. Then he found it, a metal door, sealed by old Earth tech, painted across it in red. Weapon 0, do not open. Zoran used his drone to bypass the lock. The door opened. The room of silence inside was a simple room. No weapons. No computers. Just a chair, a desk, and a book. It was thick, heavy, black cover. No title. Zoran stepped forward. The air felt heavier. He reached out and touched the book. His translator buzzed wildly, then shut off. He was alone now. Truly alone. He opened the cover. What he saw, the first page was blank. Then came writing. In English. But not just language, emotion. The words carried weight. Pain, anger, joy, loss. The book didn't just tell stories, it pulled him in. Zoran began reading. Each chapter showed a part of human history. Earth wars, betrayals, survival through famine, disease, genocide. And still rising. A line caught his eye. We are not the strongest, we are not the fastest, but we are the last one standing. Zoran kept reading. One part described a single soldier surrounded by enemies, out of bullets, bleeding, and still charging forward with a stick. Another part showed a child in a burning city, carrying her brother through the smoke, refusing to stop. He felt tears in his eyes. The pain began suddenly. The room felt colder. Zoran blinked. The words on the page began to move, twist, change. He saw visions of Earth burning, of humans laughing in rain, of nuclear fire, of childbirth, of riots, of poetry. His heart beat faster. His head hurt. A voice whispered from nowhere. You wanted to know what makes them different. This is it. They are chaos wrapped in purpose. Zoran dropped the book. He fell to the floor, gasping. The voice and new figure stood in the room. It was Agent Voss, the Earthwoman he had met earlier. How are you here? Zoran asked. I followed your signal, she said. Is this Weapon 0? She nodded. Yes, it's not a weapon you fire. It's a weapon that fires you. Zoran looked confused. It shows you humanity, she said. Not with pictures, not with numbers, but with feeling. No species can take it. Their minds aren't built for it. 3 Kithali scientists read it. One tore his eyes out. One disappeared. The third sits in a dark room still whispering the same words. I'm still not ready. Wyatt was mad as Zoran asked. Why did you write this? Voss sat beside him. After the HFY War, Earth knew one thing. Our enemies didn't fear our weapons. They feared our mind, so we collected all of it. The best, the worst, our victories, our nightmares. We made a book. The truth, written raw, not filtered, not cleaned. And we locked it away. The real Fearzerin stood slowly. So, this is why they fear you, not just the strength, but the stories. Voss looked at the book. They fear our capacity to endure, to hope, to hate, to love again. She pointed to a page Zoran had missed. It said, we make peace, we build homes, but if pushed too far, we burn down the sky. Zoran backed away from the book. His translator finally restarted. Voss said, you've read enough. Leave now, before it finishes what it started. Leaving the station back in his ship, Zoran looked at himself in the mirror. He looked older, not in years, In understanding, he had seen a truth that couldn't be unseen. He sent a message to his people. Weapon Zero is not a tool. It's a mirror. It shows you the one thing you fear the most, that humans know they are broken, and they keep walking anyway. Back on Earth, Agent Voss returned to Earth. She placed the book back into its vault. The door closed behind her. Sign outside read, "If you are not human, do not read. If you are human, read only if you must." They feared humans. They studied humans. But when fear turned into panic, the galaxy made a mistake. They tried to control the very monsters they created. Zoran's ship floated above a quiet moon near the Cathali border. He had seen the battlefield of Creel 7, walked through the prisons of Orban 6, and read the Forbidden's Weapon Zero. He had sent reports back home, carefully written, honest and detailed. He thought he was doing the right thing, but he didn't expect what would happen next. Leak 3 solar cycles later. His reports were no longer secret. A group of political hackers from the Talon Concordat broke into Cathali systems and leaked Zoran's full investigation to the Galactic Net. Millions read it. Billions saw the video of the Silent Reaper. They heard the voice of Derek Kane. They read about the humans who laughed in chains. And worst of all, some tried to read Weapon Zero. The reaction across the galaxy. Panic grew. The Dravari Council held an emergency meeting. "They are unstable," one elder shouted. "They fight for revenge. For emotion, they should be isolated." The Varn Syndicate sent ships to the edge of human space. The Atleri Mind Cluster banned all human data on their networks. Even the Cathali leaders turned to Zoran. "What have you done?" They asked. "You didn't report monsters. You reported beings we cannot understand." Zoran was silent because deep down, he understood the fear. The galactic vote within 2 weeks. The United Galactic Council called a vote. Should the human race be contained? The plan was simple. Surround Earth with surveillance. Block trade and communication. Monitor every ship leaving human space. Use soft pressure to keep them quiet. It passed. But no one thought to tell the humans first. And that was their mistake. Earth reacts on Earth. The sky turned quiet. Stations shut down. Cargo ships were stopped mid-space. And Earth noticed. They always notice. Inside a dark room in Geneva, world leaders gathered. Military officials whispered. Then a voice said something that froze the room. "So the galaxy has decided to wake the sleeping dog." General Elena Rourke looked around. "Let's remind them what barking sounds like." The shadow response. Earth didn't send warships. They didn't fire weapons. Instead, they disappeared. All Earth communication stopped for 36 hours. Every human base on other planets went dark. No signals. No messages. No warning. The galaxy panicked. Have they gone silent? Are they preparing for war? Did Weapon Zero activate something? Then suddenly, a message appeared on every major galactic screen. The screen was black. Then, a single sentence appeared. Written in every known language. "You feared us. You studied us. But you forgot one thing. You called us monsters first." Then came the second part. A voice, human, calm, deep. "We tried peace. We showed our kindness. We shared our food, our science, our art. But you locked our skies. You blocked our voices. You chose fear over friendship. So be it. We will not attack. We will not run. We will simply become what you believe. And then, you will remember who started it." Across the stars and every alien capital, the fear returned. Even the Dravari trembled. Old soldiers who fought on Creel 7 told their children, "Hide. Do not challenge the humans." When they stop speaking, they start planning. A Varn commander tried to laugh. "They're just angry. What can they do?" His laughter ended when every drone in his base shut down at once, hacked from unknown origin. A single message. Blinked. "Smiles are gone now. Zoran's dilemma back on his ship. Zoran sat in silence. He didn't support war. He never wanted this. He just wanted the galaxy to understand the truth. But now, the fire had been lit. And the wind was human. He sent a private message to Earth. Please. They don't understand what they've done. He got one reply. It was a video. Derek Kane stood in front of a ruined star map. He looked into the camera. We're not coming to fight. We're waiting for you to decide how far this goes. Civilizations divide. Many species now split into two sides. Fearful ones who wanted to push harder and keep Earth down, and the wise ones who remembered Creel 7, Orban 6, and the message in blood. A small alien group called the Remnant Coalition sent secret word to humans. We believe in your choice. We won't stand against you. Earth replied with one word. Understood. The final signal 1 week later, a final message came from Earth. It was short. No threats. No anger. Just a warning. We never wanted to be monsters. But we are very, very good at it. The signal ended. Across the galaxy, stars kept burning, but their light now felt colder. Zoran's log sitting at his console. Zoran recorded his final log. His voice was quiet. They gave the galaxy every chance. But we responded with fear. And now we must wait to see what happens when kindness dies. One last memory back on Earth. A child painted a picture. It showed stars, ships, and people smiling. When asked what it was, she said, "It's what the galaxy could have looked like before they made us monsters." It was just one colony, a single shot, an accident. But that mistake ended the war before it even began. The Galactic Council stood on edge. Tensions were rising. Humans had gone silent. After being isolated, some believed they were planning war. Others believed they were simply walking away. But silence is dangerous, because no one knows what happens in silence. And then the shot was fired. The colony called Halion 3. It was a small human colony on the edge of neutral space. Farms, children, no weapons. Peaceful. The Zervax fleet, a group of nervous, untested commanders, was patrolling nearby. They had strict orders. Do not engage. But fear plays games with the mind. A sensor beeped. False alarm. A junior officer panicked. He ordered a preemptive shot. A single plasma missile. Just 1.3 seconds of fire. Missile hit the power core of the colony's main hub. 3 seconds later, everything was gone. No buildings. No survivors. Only silence and ash. The Zervax tried to hide the incident. They said it was equipment malfunction. They said we regret the error. But someone was watching. And Earth heard every word. Earth's response there was no grand announcement. No flashing lights. No fleet jumping into orbit. Just a message, direct, quiet, emotionless. Halion 3 destroyed. Civilian deaths, 412. Response pending. The galaxy waited. 1 day passed, then 2, then 4. Still nothing. No movement from Earth. The Zervax grew overconfident. Maybe they finally got scared. One said. That was the last sentence he ever spoke. The vanishing on the 7th day. Everything changed. At 2:41 Galactic time. Zervax primed their capital planet, lost communication with 7 orbital stations. At 2:43, every AI system on their ships shut down. At 2:45, the Zervax fleet sent a distress signal. It never reached anyone. Because at 2:46, Zervax Prime lost its moon. Gone. No explosion. No light. Just gone. No one saw it coming. Observers from nearby planets reported something strange. A shadow moved through space. Not a ship. Not a missile. Just quiet destruction. Some said they saw nothing at all. Only results. By the next day, the Zervax Empire had no army. No defense grid. No leadership. No war. Only an empty silence across their territory. Who did it? The Galactic Council demanded answers. They scanned for Fleet movement. No human warships found. No weapons fired. No public claim of attack. Only another message. Short, cold. This was not war. This was a correction. Zoran's discoverizerin watched it all from his ship, far from the center. He couldn't believe what he saw. No missiles. No fighters. No trace of Earth's involvement. And yet, an entire empire removed. He traveled to the wreckage of one Zervac station. Nothing left but one strange mark on the wall. A human symbol. 3 lines. Zoran had seen it before. On Earth's deepest archive vaults. It meant completed. A hidden truth. Zoran met Agent Voss one final time. They stood on a silent moon. Stars watching above. He asked her the only question left. How did you do it? Voss looked calm. We didn't use weapons. She paused. We used a lesson. Zoran didn't understand. What kind of lesson? Voss said, we let them believe they could touch fire. And then we reminded them why they shouldn't. A message to the galaxy Earth, sent one last broadcast. No threats. No pride. Just truth. This was not revenge. This was memory. You forgot. So we reminded you. We will not attack again. But if another mistake is made, there will be no time to regret it. We are human. We forgive. But we never forget. Peace. Or silence after the Zervax event. The galaxy shifted. No one touched another human colony. No one scanned Earth ships without permission. No one whispered about control. Because now they understood. War with humans isn't loud. It's quiet. It's fast. And it ends before you know it started. Zoran's final report. Zoran wrote his last log. He no longer worked for the council. He no longer asked questions. He only recorded truth. They called humans monsters, but humans didn't attack first. They were studied, caged, insulted, but they warned us. And we didn't listen. So now the galaxy walks carefully. Not because they fear war, but because they fear the next mistake. The final scene. A child on Earth looked up at the stars. Are they still afraid of us? She asked. Her mother smiled. No, my love, they're not afraid. They're remembering.